efforts made a direct impact on the effectiveness and safety of all of our firefighters. In addition to this long list of accomplishments and extra efforts, Ray has demonstrated a strong work ethic as well as being a go-to person for electrical issues and special projects. He's assisted in numerous projects throughout the years at the fire department that exceed expectations associated with his job description. Ray plans to remain in fire service as a volunteer at Millersville Rural Fire Department. Ray and Gina reside in Millersville. Ray has one daughter, Chantel, and one son, Bradley. 6 grandchildren, Casey, Kimmy, Kylie, Caleb, and Corbin. I think the K's are, oh, and then Aubrey. I don't know what happened to the K's there.
They gave up.
But officially now, for all that service and many more that we could go on, and his dedication to his team, to the citizens of Cape Girardeau, and to our staff and everyone, in appreciation and recognition for over 32 years of loyal and faithful service to the City of Cape Girardeau, presented this first day of September 2015 by the City of Cape Girardeau in honor of the retirement of Ray Warner from service to the fire department, 1982 to 2015. Congratulations, and have a great retirement. Any words for the audience?
Thanks for the opportunity.
Call Millersville if we have a problem.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations. Have a great retirement. Now I see some purples in the audience. So Gail and others, come forward. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. How are you? Good to see you. And always nice to see you. People have a real commitment to this Alzheimer's walk. Been proven in the past, very organized in the present, and I'm sure will be dedicated in the future to this effort. So with that, we have a proclamation that I will read. Whereas Alzheimer's disease is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States, and only the only cause of death among the top 10 in the country that cannot be prevented, cured, or even slowed. Whereas Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia are a public health crisis causing hardship and heartbreak to a great many people, families, caregivers, and communities, including the City of Cape Girardeau and the Southeast Missouri area. Whereas 5.4 million Americans, 2/3 of whom are women, are now living with Alzheimer's disease, with one additional person diagnosed every 67 seconds. And whereas in 2015, Alzheimer's and other dementia will cost the nation $226 billion, which is expected to rise as high as $1.1 trillion by 2050. And whereas the Alzheimer's Association is the world leader in Alzheimer's care, support, and research, through whose efforts diagnostic tools are becoming more accurate, treatments more effective, and a cure more promising. And whereas the Alzheimer's Association is encouraging our residents to participate in the 2000 Walk to End Alzheimer's, to be held Saturday, September 19th at 9 a.m. in Cape County Park North, by starting a team, joining a team, volunteering, or donating at www.alzheimer.org, STL, and whereas the City Council of Cape Girardeau wishes to show its support for the goals and the work of the Alzheimer's Association by encouraging learning about Alzheimer's and taking action to end Alzheimer's. Therefore be it resolved, I, Harry Rediger, Mayor of the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, do hereby proclaim that Saturday, September 19th, 2015, as 2015 Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's Day, this first day of September. Harry Rediger, Mayor. So, Gail, and to all of you, and now with a picture. And I know you're working hard. Any comments for the citizens of Cape Girardeau? Absolutely. And you will.
I just want to say that this is an organization that's very dear to our heart. It's affected our family very hard. My dad, his brother, two of his brothers, his sister, his best friend. On my husband's side, we've lost two in the last 3 months. My husband's uncle, my husband's aunt. So it is very dear to us. We've been on the Alzheimer's Walk Committee for about 3 or 4 years, and we will continue to support this association. When my dad was going through the disease, they were a big help to my mom, who is the primary care provider for my dad. So
Very good.
it's a great association.
Okay, I'll be there that morning.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
very
you.
good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it very much.
Very good. And now, National Preparedness Month. Mark, Chief, who else?
We've got a few members of our team, emergency preparedness team, if I can
Come on.
invite them up also.
All right.
Nicolette,
Come on.
Julian, Steve.
Good.
We definitely have a team
Bring them
effort
on.
here.
Make Gail's back. Wes.
Gail's back, yes.
All right.
Nicolette's gonna take pictures, she should be up here.
Say Nicolette should be.
Yes.
She's behind the camera. Again, a very important event, a month, awareness month. So I'm proud to be able to do this here at the City Council meeting. Whereas National Preparedness Month with the theme, Don't Wait, Communicate, Make Your Emergency Plan Today, creates an important opportunity for all residents to prepare their homes, businesses, and communities for any type of emergency, including natural disasters and potential terrorist attacks. And whereas investing in the preparedness of ourselves, our families, businesses, communities can reduce fatalities and economic devastation in our communities and in our nation. And whereas the Federal Emergency Management Agency's READY campaign, Citizen Corps, the City of Cape Girardeau, and numerous other agencies are working to increase public activities in preparing for emergencies to educate individuals on how to take action. And whereas emergency preparedness is the responsibility of every citizen, and all citizens are urged to make preparedness a priority and work together as a team to ensure that individuals, families, and communities are prepared for disasters and emergencies of any type. And whereas all citizens of Cape Girardeau are encouraged to participate in citizen preparedness activities such as our community emergency response team, our CERT program, and asked to visit the websites of the READY campaign at ready.gov to educate themselves, take more active roles in their communities, and become more prepared. Now therefore be it resolved, I, Harry Rediger, Mayor of the City of Cape Girardeau, do hereby claim the September 2015 as National Preparedness Month and encourage all citizens and business to develop their own emergency preparedness plan and work together toward creating a more prepared society and witness thereof. So to you, Mike,
Appreciate it.
on this, and somebody here is going to say a few words about this.
All I have to say is that I really do support that. The team right now is very supportive of our emergency preparedness training, our planning, but it all comes from, I think, the citizens of Cape Girardeau that have supported a lot of our preparedness activities throughout the years, and that goes to City Council, our present City Manager, as well as our Mayor. So
Okay.
we do appreciate it.
All right, very good. And thank you all for participating as a part of the committee.
And we're looking at Nicolette, who
We're
also
looking at Nicolette. You want us to take a picture of you now?
she's always behind the lens.
Yeah, thank you all.
Good job, thank you. We'll Photoshop you in later.
Easy to do in these days, right?
Yeah.
Communications and reports. I have one I want to mention this evening. I attended and participated in the retirement of Dennis Marchie from Snooks with his 35 years of service, not only to Snooks, but to the City of Cape Girardeau, all its citizens, on many, many committees, commissions, et cetera, et cetera. I wanted to lift Dennis Marchie up as we did that because a lot of people in our city, and we need everybody in our city pulling together and participating in our city through various nonprofits, various committees, working toward the common good of all of our city and all of our citizens. But there are a few people that really go over and above, and Dennis Marchie's one of them. And he not only served Snooks well, gave good customer service, friendly store in town, et cetera. I'm not boasting of Snooks here, but it was Dennis Marchie that did that. And he was dedicated not only to Snooks, but to our entire city. And I was proud to be able to present that evening on behalf of all the citizens of our city to say thank you, Dennis Marchie, for being a part of our city. I wanted to lift that up at council meeting. Other communications?
Mr. Mayor, this is more or less a save the date announcement for October 6th, which will be Firefighter Appreciation Day. It'll be very similar to what we did to honor our police officers in April. 6 o'clock at the Nature Conservation Center in Cape Girardeau. More details to follow, but we're looking forward a good night of celebrating our professionals in the Cape Fire Department.
At the Conservation Center,
Yep.
6 p.m.?
Correct.
Okay. Any other council?
Well, on that Saturday, I would remind everyone that we will have a hazardous waste drop off at the Arena Park, and I'm sure people will want to be sure to collect all of that, and I think there'll also be maybe a shredder truck there. And in connection with that, we're planning to have perhaps a fall cleanup, but we'll be talking about that some more. And on our agenda tonight, we'll be appropriating the funds for that hazardous waste, and we really need that. I hope we can do it perhaps every year.
Okay, very good. It's always a big event and an important event for people to dispose of that
It's October the
hazardous.
10th.
October 10th.
Start saving.
Okay. Other council? Staff?
There is a September 11 event as well, the flag posting day. I think there'll be more information coming out about that as well. But that's just another opportunity to celebrate our public safety and our nation. So look for more information about that. It'll be out at the county park.
County Park, at the time of the raising of the flags at County Park North at, I think, 6:30 a.m.
And then another item, just continue a little more information regarding letting us know when, if you have streets that you believe need to be on the repair list. With the passage of TTF, we do have an influx of monies that we've dedicated to those streets, and especially those local subdivision streets. And so we're accumulating the sections of streets to go and look at and evaluate. And probably the next 4 to 6 weeks, we'll have those listed on the website, those that are being evaluated. And then as they're evaluated and we begin to program those, and then we'll move them over into the program for 2016 list. So look forward to that in the next 4 to 6 weeks, but you can go ahead and call in or email the website, contact us and give us sections that you think need to be done. Now then, there's a caveat with that. We're not going to evaluate and do the 2,000 worst sections in the city for efficiency reasons. When you go in and do a road, especially short roads, we're going to do everything that needs to be done on that road, and rather than back and forth. And so we'll be programming those and evaluating it and have a strategy. The other thing is we can't. Got to be careful because we're going to be doing so much that we don't shut down sections of the city that you can't even get to. And so we're going to be telling our contractors to be a little more restrictive with them on where and when they can close lanes. So we're working hard on it, but right now, if you have a section road you want to nominate, let us know. Soon we'll post that and you can just go and check and see if that is already on our list. So that's more to come.
And probably when we get to the website, we'll probably get some publicity from the Southeast Missourian that will notate that. I'm sure. I'll make that note.
The website will have some prediction on it about when your streets are going to be repaired.
Well, first of all, it'll track those that we are looking at or are vetting, And then, once we decide, yeah, we're gonna do that one next year, then we'll put that on the list for 2016, or we may even eventually get to where we'll do another year out there. And again, that might change too, just so everybody's aware, you know, we'll go through a winter, and so that may change some things. But we want to try to give what the current plan is, and but that is the intent, Councilwoman Snyder, is to get them programmed into a spot.
And they're gonna have a, open house or a meeting on, let's see, on the 5th, which will be Thursday evening, about the sidewalks.
Yes. Holly?
This Thursday, September 3rd, at the former federal building from 5 to 7, we will have a public meeting on the downtown sidewalk replacement and placemaking program.
Well, thanks for remembering
And
that.
But this is for the downtown area.
This is for the downtown area, that's
Probably
correct.
eventually you'll cover other areas.
So-
There was money in TTF5 for sidewalks, but that is completely separate than what
Separate
the
from
meeting
this.
Thursday
Yeah.
is about.
And just to clarify on the input that you're hoping to get from people, it's like an elevator button. The more you push, that doesn't mean you get more support
No.
in your street. As long as your street is listed once, that
Yep.
means it's gonna get a serious look. So
Right.
it's not an online poll, it's just to make sure that every street has been suggested by the people who believe it should be suggested.
Thank you for that clarification. Yes, it's not a voting thing. If you
Hurry,
check-
rush to the website,
Yeah.
vote for your street, otherwise it's not gonna get paved. That's not
No,
the way it's gonna
if
work.
it's there, we're gonna vet it with the rest of them, and then we'll be programming the work. And so, yes, thank you for that clarification.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. We have 3 public hearings tonight. Number 1, public hearing to consider a proposed amendment to Chapter 30 of the City Code relating to R4 medium-density multifamily residential district. This public hearing is open for anyone to appear before the council on this issue. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, and council will go to item 15, bill number 15-160, an ordinance amending section 30-325 of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, regarding the R4 medium-density multifamily residential district. This will be the first reading.
So moved.
So moved by Bowen.
Second.
Seconded by Lanzotti. Any discussion? Those in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Second public hearing is a public hearing to consider a request to rezone property at 737, 739 Thema Street from C1 General Commercial District to RUMD Residential Urban Mixed Density District. This public hearing is open for anyone to appear before the council. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I'm Stephen Thurman. I'm the contractor representing the homeowner there, and I come to your last meeting and spoke with you guys and told you we were, just making the area look a little better. And
Okay.
some of you said that you've seen it and agreed that it looked better and stuff. And so we've decided that, we've run into a lot of trouble with the codes and ordinances in Cape Girardeau, but we've done our best here. And we just would like to, get this approved, and we would like to really approve the building in the way that it sits now, and the deck on it and everything, the way it is now. If we could, I don't know if that would be possible when you guys approve the zoning, if you're approving it as it is right now, because we don't want to have to change anything, if that makes sense.
The zoning pertains strictly to the land use category, and the deck is a separate issue that we're dealing with through development services.
If it gets zoned the way that we're trying to zone it now, it doesn't meet property line restrictions, and it has to go.
You'll have to go for a variance
Right,
once we get the zoning done.
that's correct.
First step. First step. Okay? Anyone else appeared on this issue? Okay, council, we'll go to item 16, bill number 15-161, an ordinance amending Chapter 30 of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri by changing the zoning of property located at 737, 739 Themis in the city and county of Cape Girardeau, Missouri from C1 to RUMD. First reading. Would I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Lanzotti
Second.
and second by Snyder. Any discussion? Those in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, thank you. Number 3, a public hearing to consider a request to rezone property at 2256 Kingsway Drive from R1 Single Family Suburban Residential District to C1 General Commercial District. Again, this public hearing is open. Anyone to appear before the council on this issue? We'll close that public hearing and council go to item 17, bill number 15-162, an ordinance amending Chapter 30 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri by changing the zoning of property located at 2256 Kingsway Drive in the city and county of Cape Girardeau, Missouri from R1 to C1. First reading. So moved by Bowen, seconded by Snyder. Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Okay, council, that is all the public hearings. Anyone here to appear before the council on any other item that is on the agenda? Okay, Eric, if you'd take us through the consent agenda.
Bill number 15-147, an ordinance authorizing city manager to execute an agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for the Veterans Memorial Drive Phase 5 project in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. An ordinance authorizing city manager to execute an agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for the Veterans Memorial Drive Phase 5 project in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Number 15-151, an ordinance amending Schedule F of Section 26-247 of the City Code by amending no parking along portions of Normal Avenue, Gordonville Road, and Bellevue Street in the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. An ordinance amending Schedule F of Section 26-247 of the City Code by amending no parking along portions of Normal Avenue, Gordonville Road, and Bellevue Street in the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Number 15-152, an ordinance amending Schedule G of Section 26-249 of the City Code by amending 2-hour parking along a portion of Normal Street in the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. An ordinance amending Schedule G of Section 26-249 of the City Code by amending 2-hour parking along a portion of Normal Street in the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Number 15-153, an ordinance approving the Record BNS subdivision, ordinance approving the Record BNS subdivision. Bill number 15-155, an ordinance approving the Record DKR 11 subdivision, and ordinance approving the Record DKR 11 subdivision. Bill number 15-156, an ordinance amending Chapter 5 and Chapter 15 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri regarding license violations, and ordinance amending Chapter 5 and Chapter 15 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri regarding license violations. Number 15-157, an ordinance appropriating funds from the Solid Waste Fund to cover costs of a one-day household hazardous waste collection event for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2016 in the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. An ordinance appropriating funds from the Solid Waste Fund to cover the cost of a one-day household hazardous waste collection event for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2016 in the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Number 15-164, resolution authorizing city manager to execute a development agreement with Mid-America Hotels Corporation for the design and construction of an indoor sports complex in the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
Council, you've heard the consent agenda. Is there a motion for approval? So moved by Lanzotti and seconded by Bowen. Discussion?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like my vote on items 6 and 7 recorded as an abstention.
Okay, clerk, you have that, item 6 and 7 for an abstention when we do take that vote, just on those two items. I would like to make a comment on item 12, the development agreement with Mid-America for the construction of an indoor sports complex. This has been a long and lengthy and transparent process that has been driven by a committee and also had much involvement with our citizenry, and it's coming to a point of getting into the design and construction stage, and I applaud the committee and all the citizens involved, Mid-America and our staff, for bringing us to this point. And I would like to ask Councilman Lanzotti to comment on this on behalf of the committee, because he was representing the committee as we went through that process, along with staff, Julia, and others. So, Mark, any comments?
It's certainly been I think my biggest comment about this project is how profound and how proud everyone who has been a part of it feels about its result and outcome. And everyone who has been a part of it not only includes members on this council, it includes persons from the general public who volunteered to serve on a committee that I think started maybe back in about February of 14, looking at a handful of different projects that were proposed. That group of proud individuals is, comes from Mid-America as well, and the proprietors of Mid-America Hotels. When we had an RFP process where we opened it up to the general public to come up with ideas to potentially build an indoor sports facility, that sense of pride certainly came through in a lot of the proposals, but mostly, and at the end, came through very strongly with those individuals from Mid-America with their generous donation. I remember the night at Osage when we had a public meeting and those plans were unveiled and there was an energy in the room, and that energy has not left the room still on this project, and this will be a game changer for the community and maybe even more to come. So
Very good. Well, I appreciate your work on it, Mark, and the committee.
And Mr. Mayor, I think too, I do, certainly was a pleasure to serve on that, but likewise, while I was appointed, I also want to commend Councilwoman Snyder, who also attended all of the meetings and was very active as well in doing those as well.
Very good.
So I don't want to sit back and say that it was through my effort alone. I feel a little humble being get to speak about it.
Okay.
But it certainly involved many in their contributions.
Yep. Very good. Thank you. Any other comments on the consent agenda? Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, thank you. Council will move to new ordinance number 13, bill number 15-158, an ordinance appropriating funds from the Housing Development Grants Funds to cover the cost of an affordable housing program agreement with the Federal Home Loan Bank of Des Moines, Iowa for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2016. First reading.
So moved.
Moved by Lanzotti.
Second.
And seconded by Bowen. Any discussion? Those in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Number 14, bill number 15-159, an ordinance accepting permanent sewer and drainage easements from various property owners along Brookwood Drive in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. First reading. So moved by Snyder.
Second.
Seconded by Lanzotti. Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? We've disposed of 15, 16, and 17 via the public hearings. Our last item, bill number 15-163, an ordinance authorizing execution of an air traffic control tower operating assistance grant agreement for the fiscal year 2015-16 with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission. First reading.
So moved.
So moved by Bowen, seconded by Gunn. Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? We have no appointments tonight. Is there any other business come before us?
Move to adjourn.
Moved to adjourn by Lanzotti.
Second.
And seconded by Gunn. Those in favor, aye. Those opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, Mark.
Melissa sent me
Yep,
notice that
it
they
deserves some
wasn't going to,
pizzazz.
like I already
Fun,
knew,
yeah.
fund the program.